Hi guys, welcome to the channel, and in this video I'd like to talk about what to expect from your initial consultation. So you're a new patient because you've picked up the phone. Generally speaking, it's because you got a long-term pain that has resulted in you reaching a point where you just can't get through your day. You can't actually perform activities like you want to. So you've not only got long-term pain, but you've lost function, and you pick up the phone and ask if I can get you any better. So generally speaking, the new patient consultation is 1 hour long. It's a little bit longer than some chiropractors would allow, but the reason for that is that I like to do a thorough examination and essentially just leave no stone unturned. So by the time we get to the end of the consultation, I will have a good idea of what's going on, a good idea of why that problem has come about in the first place, a plan, and also we also have some time to fit in some treatment on that session. So generally speaking, we'll start with a case history whereby we sit down and just find out where the pain is, which incidentally as a chiropractor, it's probably the least important thing for me to know is where the pain is. I'll explain that, why that is in a second. But yeah, for the benefit of starting the case history off, we generally ask, right, where's the pain? How long have you had the pain for? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? What aggravates things? What aggravates the condition? What relieves it? Are there any neurological symptoms? So we're essentially just trying to find clues to, set off some little light bulbs up here as to what might be going on. So by the end of the case history, I should already have a list of what they call differential diagnosis in my head as to what might be going on. I as a chiropractor generally consider pain the least important part of the whole equation, simply because I'm more interested in trying to understand what has led to that pain in the first place. Now, let's say you've got a sore knee and you've come in and said, my knee's really sore, I can't quite straighten it out. That's relevant, but only to a point. That essentially to me represents the tip of the iceberg. When someone mentions knee pain to me, what I'm interested in, first of all, what my first thought is, what's that hip doing? Now, the reason I think of of that is because the hip and the knee are just separate ends of the femur bone. So the principle is that the body will compensate for the initial problem, and then it might compensate again, and then it might compensate again, and then eventually that leads to the sore knee. So to try and work myself back through the layers to understand why you have a sore knee in the first place, I'll first of all ask myself, what's that hip doing? Better check the hip. Once we've checked the hip, let's check the pelvis. Once we've checked the pelvis, let's check the lower back. Let's check maybe, the alignment of the pelvis. Let's check the glutes. Let's essentially check as many things as we can that could eventually cause the body to compensate enough to give you knee pain. So that's why the physical examination takes a little while, and that's why it has to be so thorough. Because if I keep asking the question, why, I can get back to the original problem and start your treatment plan by addressing that, and then work through the various layers, then very often we don't even need to concentrate on the knee, because the knee just gets better by itself. Like I said, the principle in diagnosing a mechanical problem, or the principle in thinking about mechanical problems in general, starts with the fact that the body has a compensatory mechanism, and therefore it can compensate for little imbalances, and therefore it will. So if we assume that the pain is the end of the road, and we work through the layers, the normal compensatory patterns that you would expect the body to engage in, then we get back to the original problem. And then at the end of the physical exam, we start treating that. So you may come in for knee pain, but actually the first treatment might involve me freeing up the hip, or freeing up the sacroiliac joint, or maybe, straightening up the lower back, whatever. And I very often won't even give you any exercises in this initial consultation, because I'll want to see what the effect of my treatment is at the follow-up. In other words, how do you feel at the follow-up? And then that gives me an idea as to how involved I need to be in the process. So yeah, just to recap on that, what to expect from the initial consultation is to be here for 1 hour. We briefly go through a case history so as I can pick up some clues as to what the layers of the issue might be. The physical exam then allows me to explore those lists of sort of problems that I think might be going on, rule stuff in, rule stuff out. So after 45 minutes or so, I've already got a diagnosis in mind. We call that the working diagnosis, and then we just get on and just start treating the problem. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, because the purpose of that is to not only help my channel grow, but it gives you obviously free access to any upcoming content. All right, thanks for watching.